Hello everyone, welcome back to the one more session with Gems and Dreams. Today I am in conversation with the winning team of SIH 2020. Here they are going to share their experience starting with the problem statement selection till the winning moment. So enjoy their journey in their own words. So, hello everyone, and thank you for sparing your time for today's session. And I'm sure this is going to be more interesting and more informative. Okay, so let's start with the introduction first. So, introduce yourself one by one. We are starting with you, Omkar.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. My name is Omkar Dhawal. So, I am right now pursuing my MS from IIT Madras, and my research area is program analysis and compiler optimization. My interests are web developments also, and we are here today to discuss our Smart India Hackathon. Yeah.
Hello everyone. I am Pratik Naik. I am currently pursuing my master's in computer science here from the University of Texas at Dallas in the United States. My interest also lies in software development, particularly web and mobile application development. And we are here to discuss our experiences of winning the Smart India Hackathon.
Aditya.
Hello everyone, myself Aaditya Nagdekar. Currently, I have joined TCS as an assistant system engineer, and my interest lies in more in software development, uh, more towards app development and web. Thank you.
Yeah. Ravi.
Hello everyone. My name is Ravi Nalawade. I am studying for GATE CS 2022, which got over last Sunday only. So now I am doing more of competitive programming.
Okay. Next. Sakshi.
Hello everyone, my name is Sakshi Khandare. I'm currently working as software engineer at Persistent Systems. So my interests are web development and also automation testing.
Yeah, Ankita.
Hello everyone, myself Ankita Gawali. I'm now I have just given GATE exam and my interest lies in app development. So thank you.
Yeah. So, moving to the very first question. What is hackathon?
So in general, we can say that hackathon is like a project competition. It can be software or hardware, like it can include both also. So here in general, in a hackathon, teams come together and compete with each other to develop a software like a project solution for a given problem statements. So that's like a short description. So yeah, and generally the hackathon spans for about 24 to 48 hours depending upon the kind of hackathon and who organizes them and at what level it is held. So there are national level hackathons as well as state level and college level hackathons. So that's it. Yes.
So, you people have participated in SIH, correct? SIH 2020. So, what is that
Yes.
SIH Smart India Hackathon?
So Smart India Hackathon is a national level hackathon. It is organized by the Government of India, the MHRDC, that is the Ministry of Human Resources and Development, and in collaboration with other government organization as well as private companies who come together, provide their problem statements and like and here then the teams from all over the country from various colleges come together and participate and develop software as well as hardware solutions to different problems which are provided by these organizations.
Yeah, when the SIH was started in 2017, initially they have displayed only the problem statement of the ministries. And now, 2 years back, PSUs as well as the many NGOs joined the ministries. And now the problem statements are you will find the more diversified problem statements, and you people have to give the solution to all that problem statements. So, the next question. Um, why is why is it why it is important to participate in hackathon?
Yeah, so nowadays, in terms of technology and IT sector, we can see that there is a lot of growth going on. New technologies and tools are being developed, and every day in the news we can see that some new technology has been built, and like people have started using that. So in this like ever changing world, it's necessary to equip ourselves with skills which are outside of the college experiences. So hackathon is gives us such a platform where we get the chance to use some of these technologies. And not only that, in the hackathons, the real life problem statements, the problems which are faced by their day to day people in their daily lives, so such kind of problems are provided. So hackathon gives us a chance to think about these problems and how we can counter this and develop a project solution, software as well as hardware, to solve such problems. And not only that, it gives us the opportunity to use some of the new technologies and develop new skills which we haven't could not learn in the classroom experience, or we did not knew before. So hackathon gives us the platform to learn these skills and innovate ourselves.
And when is the right time to participate in hackathon, as you people have to manage your studies and these competitions also?
So
Excuse
yes,
me.
yeah.
Actually, can I add more to the previous question?
Ah,
Yeah, so I think participating in hackathon is very important due to various reasons. So one of them is like you will be working with your teammates. So many of us have the habit of working alone. Like we write code and we don't think much about it. Like I can write the code in any style and I can do whatever I want. But when you are working in a team, you can't just write anything and then expect others to understand your code. You have to follow some standards so that your other teammates can also understand. And not just that, you also have to like communicate with your teammates so that you understand the requirements that are needed for the projects. So like I remember many times we had many arguments in our initial hackathons because like we couldn't convey what we want to the other teammate and then he went ahead doing some other thing and so on. So I think these experiences are must because many of times like we don't think about that alone. Other than this, I think as Pratik said, you will get to experience and like learn new technologies, tools, frameworks, etc. Because like sometimes there will be some problem statements and they'll ask you to implement something which you have never heard of before, but then you have to go through the documentation, read other people's code, like read the tutorials, and you have to do all this within a short amount of time, that is 24 hours, 36 hours, and so on. So if you can like if you get used to it, then it will be a huge advantage to you because in future like you will be dabbling with many technologies, tools, etc. So you must be in the habit of reading code and understanding others code also. And other than this, I think uh, many of the students like don't know how to use GitHub and so on, like these technologies. So uh, like working in hackathons also, like you can understand this also, you can understand more about open source projects, etc. And another thing is hackathon is just not just about the technical part, because at the end of the hackathon you also have to convey your project idea to the judges and you will get maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it depends. So I think it's a good opportunity for students to improve their soft skill also. So like your communication skills will improve and you will get an idea like how to pitch your idea within this short amount of time, and the judges are convinced, so that convincing is also a skill. So like there are many advantages, like, and many students ask like should I do competitive programming or should I do software development and so on. So my answer is like don't choose any one of them, keep a balance in between them so that you can uh, improve your software development skills also and your data structure algorithm skills also.
yeah, it's true. And as you said, here through the hackathon platform, students can develop their skills like time management, coding skills, and then they can judge themselves कि कहाँ पे हम stand करते हैं among the other students, among the other participants from the other colleges, from the other states. Got it? So this is
Yes,
all.
and many times you will see the same teams in all the hackathons. Like you get
Yeah,
used to the faces, seeing the same people, and as you said, like time management. You should like if you will experience the hackathon, like you'll understand. Like just go into a room of hackathon at the last hour and see how people are like scratching their heads and breaking their keyboards at the last hour.
and at the
Or
same
especially
time you will,
after,
yeah, at the
yeah,
same time you can learn that how to manage the stress, last moment stress.
yes, yes, man.
Yeah, Ravi.
Yes, means there is a lot of means talking going on after the dinner at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. All gets awake at that time only, and then they start coding. All the day people are sleeping only, but after 9 or 10 they get energized and they just
Start.
start coding. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So tell our students about your past hackathon experience that you participated before SIH 2020.
Yes, so I will start. So before SIH, we had participated in like state level or college level hackathons, I can say. So SIH was my first national level hackathon. So before that, we were just like whenever we participated in a hackathon, our main motivation aim was to just see and experience like what a hackathon is, how it works, and just like experience the thrill of participating within a 24 hours span, like developing the solution, coding, collaborating with other team members. So we just went for the experience. So yeah, initially during our first few hackathons, like we struggled a lot, like means we every time our solution used to fail, or at the last moment there would some errors would pop up. And we need like Ravi said, like at the last moment, like people scratch their heads and like something or other happens. So yeah, it was kind of a fun experience, they are working on these project solutions. But as time progressed, we like developed the skills, like we understood like how to start with the project, like how to initiate the idea, then how to divide the task among team members. So we learned about the process of team collaboration, dividing the task, then working together, helping each other out. So it was a kind of a long journey, I can say, before we participated in Smart India Hackathon. So before that, and not only that, we learned the new skills and technologies also. I remember like some of the things which I hadn't heard before. I came to know when I participated in the hackathon, and when the problem statement was shared, that time I came to know of these new technologies and tools. So yeah, before this it was kind of a learning experience only for me, in terms of collaborating with team members, learning the new skills and technologies. And like Omkar said, presentation is also one of the most important aspects, because even if we develop the right solution, presenting and conveying our idea to the judge is also a skill which needs to be learned, and that also comes through practice. And like doing this live hackathons, like live presentation only, like initially during our first second hackathon, we could not present that well. So we, even if we developed the solution, it used to happen that we used to fumble at the last moment. And even if like the judge came up with any cross question, we couldn't answer that well. So as like time progressed and we participated in more hackathons, we learned that skill also. So it was all about learning and growing ourselves as we progress, and participated in more and more hackathons.
So
Yeah.
I must say
Yes.
that whatever the failure you faced during your previous hackathons, that opened the door for your success in this SIH 2020, and you bagged the first prize.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, so as Pratik said, it wasn't always a rosy picture. Like we participated in many hackathons, I think 6 or 7, and we lost all of them. And though Pratik is saying that he went there to experience the hackathon, like honestly, we all know deep inside we all wanted to win, but then again, you obviously like you have to face some failures. And as Pratik said, like I still remember our first hackathon, like we couldn't even complete our solution, and like there were a lot of bugs and so on, and we couldn't even present our solution properly. And these things kept happening, but we improved with every hackathon. And after losing every hackathon, we are still sad about it, like because obviously we lost. But then again, we kept trying again and again at different hackathons. And like at every hackathon we learned something, and we used that in our next hackathon. So I think that helped us a lot in our future hackathons also. And like winning an hackathon is definitely a different experience. Like once you get there, you will understand that okay, yes, it all had a meaning, all those failures had a meaning in the past.
So in SIH 2020, many ministries participate with their problem statement. So they gave you multiple problem statement. So my question is that about the domain selection and the problem statement selection. How did you select problem statement, and what was the motive behind selecting a particular problem statement?
So once the hackathon is once the like in the SIH hackathon, like initially problem statements are published on the websites. During that time, many ministries and private companies also publish their problem statements, and student can read about those statements. Now the first thing to do is like obviously go through as much problem statements as possible. I think we went through almost all the problem statements. Now after visiting all the problem statements, I think you should use the rejection strategy, like reject those problem statements which you know you definitely cannot do, or your skills don't align with that project. Like if is some VR project, like augmented reality related project, blockchain project, etc. So we didn't like we are not into those skills, so obviously we started rejecting those projects. Now after rejection, you will have some projects in the mind. So like obviously some projects will be very popular, and you just by reading the problem statement you will understand okay, these problem statements will be very popular and many students will be competing for the same. But the thing is, in hackathon what matters most is like how you choose the problem statement and what value you will be adding as an extra to that problem statement. So like for example, if there is some problem statement, there will be some basic solution to this which everyone will try to implement. But what is the additional value that only you can give? So based on that, you have to select a problem statement. Now there will be some problem statement, and as you know, most of them like are related to MLA, and most of them try to use these technologies to add their additional value to the problem statement. But then again, you also have to see the non-popular problem statements, the problem statements which people tend to ignore because they think okay, like it's not a very good problem statement, what can we do in this, etc., etc. So like you have to like go through all those statements and think about it in detail, that what value you can add to it. And other than this, like you when you're selecting the problem statement, during that time only you have to start researching about it, like if there is data available or not, if there are tools or any website or app already developed to address this problem statement and so on. Because you will be asked in the hackathon 100%, like what is the additional value that you are adding to this. Now this additional value part is the most important while selecting the problem statement, because your solution must have it. Pratik and Ravi, if you want to add anything, or Sakshi, Aditya.
Yeah, so like told, like we need to go through every problem statement and think like apart from the like common things which everyone will do, what additional value or what additional features can we add into the project solution. So often it happens that once we look at the problem statement, an idea doesn't come up initially, so we just think about it, and like in the broad sense it appears to us that we won't be able to do anything out of this problem statement. But when you start thinking about it and like thinking about the possible solutions, that's when you come to know that we can approach it in this way, and we can solve the problem if we use this technology or if we implement it in this way, and this would help the users. And it's also I can say it's all about thinking, like not just giving up just by seeing at the problem statements and thinking that no, we can't do anything, this doesn't look that good, but it's necessary to dive deeper and just explore, like just think more, and also not only just as a team leader, but like all the members in the team should communicate their ideas, like we and discuss like how can we provide a solution to this problem, because everyone has their own perspective and ideas, and sometimes once we discuss all these ideas, then we can think of a possible solution, and then we come to know we can implement it in this way, and then we can solve the problem. So that was our approach when we selected our problem statements, because initially the problem statement which we had selected was not that appealing as other problem statements. Like Omkar said, like there are some problem statements which are quite popular, and we have selected one which was not that popular, but as we progress and we thought on the idea and the solutions, we were able to come up with very good ideas, which was one of the like stepping stones in our success of winning the hackathon. So that's also important. Yes.
So, ma'am, problem statements are divided into various categories. So there are categories like healthcare or some management stuff, and there are major two categories which are mobile app development and web app development. So if student thinks that he knows about web development only, and if he only searches in that category only, so he misses out all the above categories. Means in healthcare category also you can you can implement the project by using web app or application based. So reading all the problems is necessary. Yes.
Study of all the problem statement is very important. Then you have to apply the filter, that which skill I have, where I can put or where I can give my 100% potential, and in which programming or in which domain I am quite confident to give the solution. So that plays an important role, correct? So
Yes.
So can anyone give me the more details about your problem statement and its solution?
Yes. So the problem statement which we have selected belong under the theme of sustainable environment. So our problem statement was to develop a kind of software solution which would help the forest officers manage all their forest department related activities and solve some of the problems which the forest officers face while doing their daily tasks. So one of the things which they required was to enable to help them view the geolocations of endangered animals. So that was one thing they wanted. And apart from this, like develop some kind of solution which would help them to prevent the hunter poaching incidents. So like often the hunters enter these restricted areas, so they wanted something which would help. They did not specify, they just gave a broad idea that we want something which would help the geotagging of these endangered animals, as well as preventing the hunter encroachments in the restricted zones. So that was the problem statement. And yes, so we initially like we had went to other different problem statements. The reason we selected the problem statement was we thought that we can like develop some solution. We and all other team members, like we brainstormed on the different ideas, and we came up with a solution that we can develop a solution like viewing the geolocations on the map, then developing a kind of a machine learning based a model which could detect these animal human hunters on the video streams and then send the alerts. So we thought about this process, and then we thought that we can work on this and develop a solution for this idea, and therefore then we selected this idea and we went ahead. Yes.
So does the problem statement owner provides you some data set?
No, he doesn't means it depends. Like some problem statement owners do provide the data set. Like I remember there were these problem statements from ISRO, which was related to the satellite imagery and all that, and they had provided the links to their website which contained the satellite data set and another geolocation based data set. So that's one thing. So some problem statements do provide data set, but the one we have selected did not have any data set. So we got the data set near the end of the finals of the hackathon. So before that, when we approached the judge, the organization who had put the problem statement, at that time they provided the the data set. So our approach was to develop a general solution which should work on the kind of data set which we might get later in the future. So we thought that we will develop a general solution which will work on the kind of data set which we are expected to get in the later time. Yes.
I remember that we got the data set as I was the member of your team. So we got the data set on the second day of our hackathon judging round.
Yes.
So they were quite confident with our solution when they go through the first day rounds and all. So they were quite confident about your solution, and after that they released the data set for us as the problem statement was that came under the Ministry of Andaman and Nicobar. So we got the data set from the Andaman and Nicobar government. Is it correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So the next question. So what difficulties you guys face while working on this problem statement?
Omkar, you can start here.
I think Aditya or Sakshi should start maybe.
Okay, so actually, when this idea was brought that we have to make an Android app, and side by side we have to create a web app. So me, Ankita and Pratik, we worked on the Android side. So we have never dived this much deep in Android documentation. So it was very new to us, and we faced a lot of difficulties. See, you cannot get each and every solution on internet. There is always some custom logic that you need, and you have to figure out how to implement some other person's code in your program. So that was the challenging part.
Yeah, and again the hackathon organizer is not interested in your copy pasting code. They want your genuine
Yes.
solution, correct?
Yes. So that was very new and challenging.
Apart from that, what kind of challenges?
Ma'am,
Can I go
ma'am,
next?
Yeah, just a minute. Huh?
Yes,
Sakshi.
yes. Okay, Sakshi, you say.
Okay. My role was to perform on the website part of the project. So I and Ravi used to work together, and in college time I worked on different small mini projects, and also I did some personal practice on web development. But I never thought that I would be able to participate in such a big event. It was my first time participating in a national hackathon, or maybe a hackathon in general. So for me it was a bit challenging, as in how I'll work with these members who already have some experience in hackathon. So when Ravi used to Omkar used to assign us task. So initially the task was a little bit easy, but then as the day progressed, we had some difficulties. So there was this particular task page I remember. So it looked like a normal web table, but it had some different formatting, different shadowing and effects. So it was difficult for me to I mean, I never had experience in all those things, and it was very difficult to implement at the last moment. Also, I remember we had in the last moment we had graphs and pie charts of the various animals and things. So for that also, I never really worked on graph part of the web development. I mean, for college we generally go for simple websites, so we never had exposure to work on such things. So because and it was not available anywhere on the YouTube. So just had given me some reference link, and I had to read the documentation and implement it. And then I used to discuss it with Omkar and Ravi, and somehow we managed it together.
So ये बंदों ने तुझे भी कर दिया ट्रेन एकदम.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Ankita would like to.
Ankita, you want to add something?
I also participated first time in this hackathon. So I was also not having any experience about how to work on this or what to do. So Omkar was always guiding what to do and how to implement anything. I also worked on front end development, but for app development in Android. So there was some things that Aditya was knowing and I was not knowing. So we used to work together, and then we used to some make changes. And then Pratik was also helping for that Android because he was also knowing about the Android thing. So that's it.
I think you should also tell like about the Maps APIs and the other APIs that you had to integrate and so on. Or even like the basic backend that you did.
Basic backend, it was connectivity with Firebase and all. That was done by Ravi.
Okay.
And ma'am, I want to add one more thing to Ankita's point. When we first designed our app, we had used very basic design, but there are some libraries which are available on internet, which will help to make your app look more elegant or make its UI a little bit slick. So it will create a better impression when you are showcasing your app. So we searched for it and then implemented in our project. So that was also a new thing for us.
Ravi, you want to add something?
Yes, ma'am. The final day was a bit challenging. Means there were many changes told by the judges, and we had to implement it to win the SIH. And yes, we did it. I think so. Yeah.
And we
As
had no time.
Sakshi also
We had
told that.
no time to do
Yes, yes,
the
ma'am.
lots of changes. So a short time and many changes.
Many changes.
So
Yes.
they wanted to check your stress level, how you are
Yes.
working under pressure, under stress. So that also they are going to check during the judging round.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to add one more thing. Like, during those 3 days, we have planned that we will on day one we will do this much thing, then this much, then this much. But like in the middle of it, there was one feature which we had just planned, like and we had to quickly implement in our existing plan. So that was also a difficult part, but I think that gave our team an edge amongst our competitors.
Yeah. So that change push you
It was
towards the winning trophy or prize.
Yeah. I mean that change was like, can we give civilians an chance or an option to uh, spot an animal if it has entered a civilian's area?
Yeah.
So that thing
And we
we did.
had a discussion previously on the same things. Like if they,
Yes.
what if they cross the boundaries and if they cross the wall compound and then
Yes.
fencing. So we had a discussion only ki we can implement that, but suddenly they come up with the idea that you have to implement it right now. So that was challenging. Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I would also like to add. So so like Aditya said, so Aditya and Ankita were working on the Android part. So in our solution, like I said, the problem statement required us to get the alert if like hunters can enter the restricted zones. So and one more thing was that in generally in forest areas there is a problem of internet connectivity. So like internet is not freely available, and also like there is this connection issue in the forest regions. So we were thinking of a kind of solution which should even without internet like pass this data, like if the hunter has been spotted in these restricted areas, then the forest officer should get the alert on his mobile device. So I and Omkar were thinking of what different technologies we could use. So initially we thought of using Wi-Fi peer-to-peer, also known as Wi-Fi P2P in short, to communicate like the pass the data between the different mobile devices, even for the like trap camera. So actually one more thing was that our like the solution which were developed kind of require hardware devices also, but because so our hackathon was software one and we are focusing only on software solution, so we had simulated all the hardware devices also through the mobile application. So we were kind of having like 3 to 4 apps for a single idea, which I think not many teams had done. So it was kind of like a long project also. So because also we got time, so we could work and develop the solutions. So yeah, like I was saying, integrating this communication like between the mobile devices was also a bit challenging, because like I had done Android development in the past, but this was kind of new, and there were not like readily like the tutorials available on YouTube like for this peer-to-peer and everything. And one more thing was that like once Omkar had developed the machine learning model, I was required to integrate it into the mobile application. So it was kind of the thing was not working. So like the machine learning model plus the peer-to-peer mechanism and all that, so it was causing lot of errors and the thing was not working well. So then we switched to another technology, which is known MQTT protocol. Funny thing is that this MQTT protocol also initially we had not known about this. We had come to know about this in one of our previous hackathons when we attended that, and through which we thought got the idea that we can use this technology, and there were some Java libraries available for this, and so we thought that we would integrate that. So again, like I was facing a lot of issues while like managing the machine learning model and the like both the things should work together quite well. So it took me a lot of time and like resolving the bugs, errors and everything, but at the end I was able to integrate that, and we were able to communicate that data. Like if the machine learning model detected a human in the video stream, then it was immediately the alert was sent on the forest officer's mobile application. So that was one of the challenging tasks. And like Ravi said, apart from this also, like I would say that there was not a single instance. Like at each and every instance we face one or a new challenge. So every time we went ahead, a new challenge would emerge, and like we again used to come together, discuss, like Omkar and all of us like had the discussion that how we would solve that. Once that was done, again a new challenge would emerge. So it was going on in the end of the final. So it was like a journey of challenges, I can say. One after the other we face a lot of challenges, and even in the end of the finals, like the judges told us to implement a new feature. So again, like adding that. So one more thing I would like to add here is developing the individual modules is one thing, but integrating it all together into an entire software solution, that's also a huge challenge, because some like everyone has their own way of writing code and everything, but once we integrate, then that also becomes a challenge. Like the new errors emerge and we have to like resolve it in the limited amount of time. So even during the finals, when the new feature was told to us, again adding that into our existing solution and ensuring that it works well. So it was quite a bit of challenge, and we have to ensure that during the presentation we are able to show the everything, like the hunter is detected and the alert is sent on the mobile application. The same is relayed on the web application which Ravi had developed. So it was kind of a long process, but at the end we managed to do that. Yes.
So here I would like to say that hackathon is a live, continuous learning process.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and like as Pratik said, like he was working on the MQTT protocol part, implementing it in the Android app and so on. So you will realize that many of these tools, APIs, etc., don't have many blogs or video solutions. You have to get your hands dirty by reading the documentation and like implementing them on your own, like try different things, and uh, just work with it. So like I was working on the deep learning model to like detect the humans and animals and so on. So like I think for the setup part only, like it took me more than 5 6 days because there were a lot of library incompatibility issues. Like if like the model that I was trying to build required some libraries and some pipelines, etc. And like one library wanted this version, other another library wanted this version, and due to which the like I was stuck in that loop for a long time. And even after that, like the model that we built was not giving very good results, and like I tried various algorithms, but it still wasn't giving a good result. Then I understood that the data set that we used was very bad, and the amount of data set was also very less. So we went ahead with the transfer learning and using another model. So we built our model using by doing transfer learning and training another model on our data set, so that even if our data set is less, and like if it's a good data set, then we can get better results. So I think that definitely helped. And then again, like as I said, like many I worked on the I worked a little on website and app also, and then again I had to integrate these also. So like for example, I had to integrate my model with Pratik. So while integrating, like there, I don't know what was the issue, but there was some clash happening, because of which when the model used to start, like the MQTT, his MQTT protocol used to stop working, and like something like that. So like we have to take care after merging that everything is working correctly, because some things cannot be explained like why they are happening, but you have to just go through it and try to resolve it in some way. Yeah, and
Because
another thing is the
until and unless
presentation.
we are not experiencing, we are not going through that process, we can't say that this is going to work 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you'll think, yeah, this is perfect. Nothing wrong can happen with this. But like once you'll merge it, like you are definitely find some bug or anything like that. And another thing is the presentation, because as Pratik also said, like no matter how good solution you make, at the end of the day, you had to convey everything to the judges. And like I think we were allowed only 15 to 20 minutes for like pitching our idea, but I always went overboard. Like I used to give half hour, 35 minutes. Like I used to extend the time, and still like it was very difficult to compress the entire solution, because our solution was so big, and you had to compress everything in that short amount of time. And they should be convinced, and they'll be cross questioning you, and they'll be asking what feature have you added, why have you not done this, etc, etc, and they might ask you to add some another feature also. So now, like this part is especially important, because many times in the hackathons the judge will ask you to implement some feature, and if you implement that feature, it will definitely help you. Like I mean, they are trying to test you by giving these additional features to implement, because they want to say, like on the fly, how can you implement, what are the ideas that you can use in such short amount of time.
So presentation is equally important, and here I would like to mention that we got a very good support from our corporate mentor Shubham Khairnar. So he guided us throughout the process for the presentation and how the end product will look like. Correct?
Yes. So, like after we had developed our solution, so our mentor Vaishali ma'am and Shubham, we all the team members and them we used to then in through video conferencing we used to present our idea, and then Shubham used to tell us give us some tips like where we could improve upon. So what changes we need to do our idea pitching and all that. So we like had these presentations, and we used to like change then implement this. We used to change our strategy or like how we would present and everything, and through all those like discussions, then we were confident that we could present this in this way, and through those practice we were able to then give the accurate description of a project in the finals, which like Omkar said. So yeah, some because the project was also so large, so we were having difficulty in explaining it in such a short description, but yeah, through enough practice and through discussions we were able to manage that.
And really, I want to say thanks to Shubham because we used to sit together. That is after 10 o'clock, our video conference is going to start. And then we used to share our ideas and the solutions and the suggestions given by the judges. We have to work on it. And really, it works very well. And that was a quite good experience.
Yeah, and like mock presentation always help. Like before giving your final presentation, it's good to like have some mock presentation. You can present to your teammates also. It's good, and you should keep some flow in your presentation. Like initially, you should start with the problem statement. Like the first part, that is the most important part, is that you understand your problem statement and make the judges also understand the problem statement. Like when there's a problem statement, there are various perspectives through which you can attack that problem statement, or various directions to it. So like when you explain the problem statement, they must understand what direction you are trying to go in. So first is the addressing the problem statement, and then second is like you have to first start what are the problems in the existing solution, or even if there is not an existing solution, like what are the problems faced by the uh, stakeholders in that project. And then you have to like start presenting your solution, like okay, this is how we are addressing this problem, this is how we are addressing this problem. And you can add some of the features in the future scope also, because obviously it's not possible to implement everything in such a short amount of time. And obviously they also don't expect a complete solution from you, because they are just asking for a prototype. So don't think about much about, oh, I couldn't complete this, should I tell them about this idea? Okay, you can tell them about idea, even if it is incomplete. You can tell them it's incomplete, but we are thinking about this, so that they can understand, okay, yes, he has thought about this and they are thinking in this direction, and so on. So I think that definitely helps.
So I would like to add one more point to which Omkar said, that the judges might tell you to add this feature or another feature. So what we had done, we had created our UI in such a way that each and every change what they will suggest us, we can easily show them. Like we had created like a tab layout, like this part, then this part. Okay, so this part was discussed in our previous round, and these guys have implemented it. So our progress was pretty visible to them, and that helped us to create a link when we were showing our presentation. So that helped us a lot.
Okay.